So I was reading this week that last week, of course, was Juneteenth. Mm-hmm. And Costco was making these Juneteenth cakes. And people were offended. The cakes were like happy and a celebratory. People were saying that Juneteenth isn't really a celebration because it was slavery. So they shouldn't be making Juneteenth cakes. Would you like to eat it? I wouldn't. What do you think would be the ideal Juneteenth cake? What do you think should be on?
What would be on a Juneteenth cake?
That's what I wonder. When I heard they said that Costco was getting in trouble for making Juneteenth, I was thinking, well, Juneteenth, was when slavery ended, and what are you going to have people, maybe a picture like a slave tap dancing?
So Juneteenth wasn't when slavery
No, it was when ended. Texas found out.
It's when the last five slaves found out that it was
right, in Texas.
Yeah,
right.
Which was, So I don't know what, it's almost like a, sorry, we forgot to tell you cake. I don't know.
It's just say, oops, on the top of the cake.
Did anybody tell Joe? And it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then,
or the cake could be a picture of old Joe working in the fields, and the other guy's going, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing,
it's
Joe?
over, Joe. What are you doing, Joe?
I don't know who you would give that cake to. But I'll tell you what, I'll eat it when it shows up.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Never turn down a cake.
As a white person, are you allowed to eat a Juneteenth cake? You might really be having some white guilt.
It better not be a vanilla cake. That's for sure. But if it's a nice chocolate cookie dough.
So I can just imagine my coworkers that I work with if I showed up with a Juneteenth cake.
That's what I mean.
One, they wouldn't be that surprised because it's me. But two, if I was a normal person, they'd be like, what the fuck? What? I don't know who you give that cake to.
I'm telling you, I don't know if a white person you could get away with having a piece of Juneteenth cake.
I think the funniest thing we could do is next year is we get about 100 cakes, Juneteenth cakes, and we film you going around different places of business. like the streets department. We go to all different places in the city of Philadelphia, and you
hand out Juneteenth cakes
to people, and you say, you introduce yourself. You just, in fact, wear this exact outfit. And you show up and you say, hey, I just want to let you know, happy Juneteenth, and you bring everybody a cake. I would watch that every year. We'll call it.
But here's the thing. At one of these places, I would eventually have to say, where is your men's room? I need to use your men's room.
Here's even better. We get one of those cakes, you put a person inside. We put you inside the Juneteenth
and I jump
cake,
out of the cake?
You jump out. You go, happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Where's your bathroom?
Everybody's free. Where's your bathroom?
Everybody's free, and I hope you have public restrooms.
I haven't shit since 6:30.
That would be awesome. This is why I have these round tables like this. Great ideas.
Just trying to give you ideas here for the next Juneteenth extravaganza.
This podcast is even dumber than I promised it would be. I promised stupid. It's even stupider.
Man.
You delivered.
What do you think makes those cakes that people jump out of? I bet you Wid has one of those cakes that people
do they still do that? Because that's kind of an old school thing.
Did they ever do that is really the question.
I've never seen it myself.
Outside of sitcoms, probably not. It was probably something invented for a sitcom.
Almost like the kitchen door that goes in and out that way. No house ever had that except for every sitcom in America. They had the door that goes in and out.
So there probably was. Yeah, you probably.
We're gonna get one of those cakes, and you're a Juneteenth
cake.
Well, now it's not even so much jumping out of the cake; it's all the is it cake. You have to see whether something's a real thing or if it's actually cake.
Well, you jump out and say, "Am I cake?"
You know what would be appropriate Juneteenth cake? Something where the white people would eat it and then get a stomach ache because they would serve you right. That's your punishment. White people getting a stomach ache.
I have diarrhea.
Yeah, there you go. Wait. I always said Juneteenth falls during Pride Month, which is confusing because I never know who I'm supposed to be apologizing to.
I just say sorry to everybody.
I do too. As an old one. I'm an old white guy. I just walk down the street with an I'm sorry sign. I had no idea what I'm doing. But
it's America's stupidest podcast. Think NPR for dummies. This is the McGonigal Podcast.